Well, hello, my beautiful Taurians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into what you're moving through at this moment in time and of course what lies on the other side. Now this reading tends to be very specific, so it may not resonate with all of you. Please take what resonates and of course leave the rest behind. But let's get straight to your cards to see what it is that is coming out there for you and how you're moving through this time period. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? What do they need to be aware of right now? What are they going through? What are they focused on? And how are they going to come out the other side? Now, normally I take one card from this deck, but two has popped out. We have the one who is present and the one who emerges. So you may feel like life has been, I don't want to say stagnant. I feel like you've been coming to a period of stillness in order to hear your heart, to be more present so that you can improve on your listening skills, understand what it is that your heart is saying to you, what other people are saying to you. You know, when you become more present, you observe more as well. So I do feel a lot of you are trying to find peace of mind in the present moment in order to conquer any fears or worries or overcome any anxieties. Presence of mind, of course, will help you tap into a frequency that is harmonious, that helps you align with what it is that you want. Accept things as they truly are right now in order to transform, because of course you have the one who emerges. So if you feel like life has become pretty still, what I mean by that is you're working really hard, you've got a lot going on right now, you're super busy, but somehow you feel like you're in the same place, or you feel that things have not really changed, even though everything has changed. It's a really odd space to live. It's almost like you're living in the in-between of everything right now, but you are going to emerge triumphant. I'm going to get the rest of your cards first, but a lot of you right now are focused on mindfulness, conquering intrusive thoughts, really coming back to your center and grounding yourself within all of this noise that life is presenting at this moment in time. Now, I'm just going to go and get the rest of your cards. I'm doing a Celtic cross. Look at this energy for you. We have the Knight of Swords that sprung literally out of the deck there. The Knight of Swords is all about adapting to your circumstances, a lot of change going on around you at this moment in time. And of course, this can indicate that things have been pretty fast-paced, very busy. Yes, you've been completing a lot of your tasks and responsibilities. You've been very cerebral about making some changes in your life, calculating the next steps, being really precise, being bold and daring, and trying to manage any stress levels, trying to, you know, harness your personal power to affect positive change in your life, but I feel like there's something different about you. You're adapting or responding differently to the circumstances around you, and there is a positive outcome assured with the changes that are going on around you at this moment in time. Now, your crossing position is the Empress. So this is a Taurian Libran card. So a lot of you may feel like you've neglected your own needs and you need to come back to your center in order to nourish yourself in a different way. You need more time for you. More peace of mind. It's very peoply out there. You may feel a lot of people demand your time, your attention, and you don't mind being there as long as there is some space and time for you. Also, a lot of you have projects on the go right now that you feel it's just never ending, that you're trying your best to push on through and complete a lot of tasks and responsibilities that you have going on right now, but you want to catch a breath, is what I'm seeing. So a lot of you may be called at this time to focus on mindfulness, somatic breathing for some of you. This could also be a calling right now to slow down in order to ground yourself, connect to yoga practices, Pilates, or meditation. We got the Judgment energy right there. A lot of you are focused on your sense of calling, and you're going through an energy of closing out circumstances, relationships that no longer have an affinity with you, but I feel you're sitting in a period of pause in some way in order to realign, but also to learn more about yourself, your capabilities, and acknowledge that actually you've come a long way. Now we have the Tower, and that's in your advice to yourself in this moment. Now the Tower, when it's in this position, it can indicate that you feel stuck in a rut, or you feel confined by something. Now this could be a structure, it could be a commitment or a routine or a repetitive cycle that has got you in a way of living that you feel is the same old thing, just a different day. And you want to come out of your comfort zone, you want to try new things, you want to be more spontaneous, you want life to be a little bit more fizzy. But the Emperor is in your circumstances outside of yourself, so you have a lot of responsibility that you feel duty bound to. So that could be to your family, to your cause, to your commitments, to your soul tribe. You don't mind these responsibilities. You're someone who is super caring. You have unconditional love for the people around you. You're very sensitive. You're very supportive. But a lot of you may feel like there's so much going on that you never have enough time for you, and you're trying to find the stillness for you. We've got the 10 of Swords there. A lot of you are navigating monumental change. In fact, the collective are getting very similar cards. I feel a lot of you are navigating this new beginning or a brand new way of living, a lifestyle change in some way. You're looking at where you feel like you belong. Look, you got the Fool card there. So as something ends, it yields a positive new beginning for you. But I feel life is about to get a little bit more playful for you. I feel there is an energy of potential here, but it requires a major gear shift in your life, a huge overhaul, a reconstruction, as it were. And this could be something to do with the way that you inform your body. So it could be that you're having a major overhaul when it comes to your diet, your exercise routines. For some of you, it could be that you're literally relocating, or you just want change. And you're like, I'm fed up with the way things are right now, and something has to give. So please apply it to your situation. But your first card there is lifestyle changes on this foundational Celtic cross. So it indicates you've sprung into action because you're always on the go anyway, but you're trying to make some sort of change. And with these two cards being your first cards, this tells me that the change you want to see in your life is to have meaningful experiences with people, with your higher self, with your environment. You're soul searching right now for something more, something authentic, something true, something that really resonates with your soul. A lot of you may feel like society has lost their way in some way, or you feel that people have lost their spark. But it says here, the one who is present Now, awareness and acceptance. So I feel a lot of you have been very practical. You've accepted that life has changed. It's not going back to the way it used to be. So you're adapting to these changes, whatever those changes are for you. Now, this can indicate you lament a part of your life that has changed, but you are someone who is, evolving through these changes. And there is a stillness within your soul that acknowledges that there are so many layers. There's the busy you, off doing your jobs, responsibilities, all the projects that you have on the go. But there is also this very private inner world that demands your attention right now. Your soul is calling for something other. And it can be a stillness where you connect to your higher self and evolve through meditation or get to know what your needs are beyond the noise right now. Some of you are coming to terms with a past situation or a monumental shift or even a shock in your foundation because the Tower is present. So some of you are coming to terms with something right now that is monumentally changed, but you're stronger because of it. And actually you're going to grow and elevate despite it, is what I'm seeing there. And we have enlightenment, mindfulness, rising up, the one who emerges there as well. So major period of growth there for you. But in order to step into a new chapter, it requires a new version of you. And sometimes, especially since you have this Ten of Swords right here and the Tower, sometimes you can feel like you're under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. The Tower can represent high cortisol levels. It can indicate that you're managing a lot. You have a lot on your mind right now. You're exhausted and it just feels like it's never ending. You're always on the go. There's always something for you to be doing right now. And you're like, when do I get a moment's pause, whether you're hoping to have a vacation or, step back and just have some time for yourself, or whether it is that you're quietening those intrusive thoughts or the pressure that you put on yourself to succeed in something. I feel there is this energy that sometimes we feel buried in the amount of responsibility or tasks or things that we've just got to do. But I feel it is here that you're planted. It is here that you are going to thrive and elevate. If you think about a seed, okay, a beautiful seed, you plant it in the ground, you put lots of soil on it, it feels like it's buried, it feels submerged, it feels still. Doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means everything is happening there. That stillness has to occur before there is a blossoming. And I feel like you're in that stillness. You're in that monumental shift, that transition period where things are about to get so much easier for you, better for you, more fun, more spontaneous. A lot of you are like, I want to be more spontaneous, take more risks, calculated risks, or I want things to be different. And if you think about that seed, when it is planted, of course, it germinates. You can't see that there's growth there. You've trusted in the process that you're going to put that seed in the ground. Now, this could be an idea, but I feel a lot of you, it's you right now, that you feel maybe a heavy weight of responsibility because that's what the Emperor energy is right there with this card. And, if you think about that seed, it germinates. It does that little wiggle, it sprouts, and then suddenly it pushes through all of that earth, that mud, that tough kind of substance that is enriching because, of course, experiences make us stronger. And perhaps you've been learning a lot of lessons that you didn't ask for right now. It's been a lot. You've been managing it to a high degree there, making an effort, doing everything you've got to do and trying to make it work. And then suddenly it blossoms. Suddenly it emerges. Suddenly it grows into something monumental for your future. So I feel a lot of you are going through some major transformation where you are adapting to some sort of change. You're broadening your perspective. You need new things to keep inspired. You're learning about what you want in life and certainly what you do not want. But I feel this flurry of activity that even though there is a stillness about your life where you feel like you're in one place right now, trying to ground yourself, trying to quieten the noise in some way, or come back to your center and kind of enrich your body, mind, and soul. I feel a lot of you, there is this energy that you may have neglected your own needs or never had enough time for yourself because this is a Taurian card and it is the crossing position. It's the Empress energy. Okay, so you read it in the reverse as well as the upright there. So a lot of you there are twofold energies coming out right now. There's an energy of feeling like there's unfulfilled potential, like there's more. There's more to life than this right now. There's more to opportunity. There's more to your career. There's more to, the relationships in your life and the family dynamics there. And I feel there is an energy of kind of like taking up more space or asserting yourself in some way and kind of like acknowledging that you have needs. And some of those needs are to have more pleasure in life. So the universe is inviting you to reconnect to your sense of self, but also connect to nature, connect to your nurturing instincts, because the Knight of Swords is a very detached energy. It means you're on the go. It means you have responsibility. It means that, you are in action mode. You're a warrior. You've been through some stuff, okay? Or a warrioress. You've been through some stuff. And you are someone who is bold and daring, and you're not afraid to move forward and advance in life. But the crossing position is an energy of needing to slow down so you can acknowledge where you are, what you really want, and whether you're aligned. And on a personal level, because this reading is about you, really, a lot of you may have taken some time to really, feel comfortable within your own skin there. Be confident with your looks, your body. I don't really talk about aesthetics in my reading, but I feel a lot of you are learning to love yourself in a different way with this card, because this is a beauty card. It basically means you're attractive on the outside, the aesthetics of you. You are someone who gets a lot of attention, but also you have a beautiful heart. You offer unconditional love, friendship. You're someone who is there for people. But you may have felt recently that people have not been there for you, or you may have felt things have been unfair and you go unnoticed in some way, or you may feel like you're at your peak. But if you're single right now and you're searching for love, you may have felt that the person of your dreams has not entered your life. But that will change. We have an Emperor energy here. So I would say that there is a connection here of a new start, entering into a new relationship. If you are single, you manifested this person and they're going to come out of the blue. The Tower is not a negative card. The Tower indicates surprise, but it also indicates a need to step out of the comfort zone in order to embrace the unfamiliar. And I feel a lot of you right now, there is this energy of leaving the familiar in order to embrace the extraordinary in your life. So there's a lot of shift going on in your life right now, and you've been called to, in stillness, connect to your self-care needs, to your beauty rituals or routines, to look at how you feel about yourself and how you present yourself to the world, or what you feel comfortable with there. And I feel there is an energy of needing to be a little bit more kinder to you, especially with that Ten of Swords energy. Swords are all about the mind, and this can indicate some very challenging, intrusive thoughts, okay? But I have to acknowledge that this is, a very severe end of something. So for some of you, you may have felt like an end of an era has occurred. So for example, because we have the Empress here, if you are feminine energy right now, it can be that you are going through the menopause and you've been experiencing a lot of sudden hot flushes with that Tower energy. Can also indicate there's been mood swings, or you just feel like your body is not what it used to be. There's a change there that you're trying to navigate, and you feel it happened so quick. And you're like, well, how do I deal with this? And you may be trying to find authoritative figures with that Emperor energy to give you advice on how to, regain some sort of sense of self. And there could be some sort of new pathway or new lifestyle choice that you're making that will help you feel more like yourself again. With that Fool card, there's a lot of potential for you to rediscover that joie de vivre, that sense of self, that playfulness, and a way of managing these symptoms in order to get back to best. Especially with the Ten of Swords, that can be brain fog as well. I mean, if I was reading for a menopausal woman right now, I would say Empress energy, Knight of Swords, Tower energy with the Ten of Swords and the Judgment. A lot of you are like, where did I go in all of this? Brain fog, hot sweats, feeling out of sync, feeling like, there is a different person staring back at you in the mirror, feeling like, your thoughts are jumbled in some way, and it's sporadic. One moment you feel like you got a handle on it, the next minute you totally haven't. But I do see that a lot of you are navigating a new path towards being free from these symptoms or managing them in a more effective way, because you have that Emperor energy, which is to manage something. So I do see if you're going through that. Now, of course, not everybody is going through that. Some of you may have gone through a period of unwellness, or you may feel like you're just noticing as you mature, because you have a lot of mature cards here, that, you know, you are someone who is perhaps noticing creaks in your knees, and you may be just making sure that you're on top of your healthcare needs at this time, because this is a card that connects to healthcare as you mature. So you may be adapting to the way that you eat or drink, or look at your vitamins, for examples, and your minerals, because you have that Six of Pentacles, which is all about balanced minerals and vitamins, and making sure that you're on top of your health goals there as well. But also, I would say some of you, it just feels like part of you is different. You're responding to a brand new world or a brand new way of living in some way. So either something monumental shifted or changed in your life, because this is your advice to yourself in this moment, the Tower. Rebuild, or recognize that your foundation has been shook, accept that things are different, make sense of it. So it could be that you're trying to make sense of a brand new world and how you fit into it, because this card can indicate that you feel at odds with your environment because it's in the crossing position. So you may feel like you're an old soul, for example, always on the outside looking in, and you're searching for your soul tribe. You're going to find the people who align with you. You're very young at heart, whoever you are that I'm picking up on here. You do not look your age, but also you're interested in different things, and you may be trying to find an affinity with the people that you resonate with, especially if your social circle has changed in some way, because I'm seeing a lot of people here. And there may be one person in particular who is quite close to you, but the relationship has changed or drifted in some way, and you made a lot of effort in that relationship, but you may feel that you've outgrown it, or that you're moving on from it because it was not reciprocal or supportive in the way that you've been there for this person. So if you're looking to integrate with new people, I feel like there is opportunities to integrate in group activity, and you're going to find a friend for life here. There's more than one, but I feel like you really have an affinity with one person who just sees you, who just gets you, okay? Now, of course, with the Empress energy, for some of you as well, you may have just stepped into motherhood. For some of you, of course, or you're pregnant and you're just trying to manage all these symptoms and changes that are going on within your body. And of course, if you've just given birth, congratulations on both sides, whether you are expecting or have just given birth. But it could be a shock. I mean, something monumental is shifting. Even if you are a masculine energy and your partner is pregnant, it can be that you're both navigating a brand new era, and it requires you to adapt to some changes and build differently for the future, factoring in, you know, another soul there. You feel this sense of responsibility. You may look at your hopes and fears in a different way. You may feel that, you know, you have baby on the way, or baby has arrived, because the Fool card can be a child there. And even if you have children, it can be that life is different and you've adapted to this, and it indicates that, of course, you're doing a great job as a parent, or, you know, it can also be that you are wondering if you'll be a great parent. The answer is yes, okay? But I feel there's a structure change. This could be a schedule change, or something has shifted here, and it feels like you're thrown into it and it's just happening, and no one comes with a manual of how to do life, and you're just navigating. You're like, okay, well, here goes. By the seat of my pants, it's just happening, and I just have to adapt and move with the changes. So I feel you constantly judge yourself to see if you're going to be like embracing this new era of your life and whether you'll take to it. And the answer, of course, is yes. And of course, as well, not everyone is pregnant or wanting children. Some of you may actually be coming to terms with the fact that you either cannot have children, for some of you, and that may have come as a shock. And now you're like looking at your options when it comes to having children. And for some of you, you're like, I don't want children. I never wanted children. So it can be that you're having thoughts in and around, you know, navigating your choices regarding building a family, or not, or what a family unit looks like for you. And these are just energies coming from the Empress, because the Empress is always presented as a mother type figure, and you have the Fool card. So whoever I'm picking up on, there's just lots of thoughts going on around family right now, and you're a very family oriented person, whether you want to have children or not. You really care, you really show up for people, but I feel there's this energy of not wanting to lose yourself in all of these monumental changes. Okay, so whether you are a masculine or feminine energy, or whether you are, thinking about settling down or finding a partner, or just navigating change in general in your life, whatever it is you're going through, I feel like your advice to yourself is wanting to come back to the very foundation of you and not lose yourself and your desires within all of the noise, if that makes sense. And I feel being kinder to yourself and acknowledging that you're doing a great job, and there's always going to be something to worry about. That's just life. It will throw a curveball, and then you'll knock it out of the park, and then there'll be another curveball that you serve, and it'll go somewhere else. But you are adaptable to the changing environment, because your Knight of Swords tells me that no matter what comes your way, you've got this. So if you are going through a tough time, I see a brighter time ahead, an easier time ahead for you as well, because the Fool card can literally indicate that you're reaching for more and that you're excited, you're on a new journey. Could be that you're relocating, could be that there's a lot of chaotic energy right now and you're trying to navigate some sort of new beginning, and you are kind of being present and aware of what steps are necessary to get to where you want to go. And you know that it's not going to be easy. You know that there's a mountain to climb, or wherever your destination point is, because it's going to be different for every one of you. Some of you are wanting to move into more money or more opportunity, or you just want peace of mind, or you want better health, or you want a relationship, or you want a family, or we all have wants and needs. And it indicates that in all of that, because you are not the sum of the things outside of yourself, I feel a lot of you are coming back to your center to really check in with yourself at this time and acknowledge the power of your mind, because thoughts really do become things, especially with that Ten of Swords. Catastrophizing, thinking of worst case scenario, it may prepare you should the worst case scenario ever arrive, but actually it's going to rob you of joy and keep you stuck in a rut. If you look at everything in life and go, oh my gosh, I'd love to do that, but it's not something I can do right now because it might go wrong, or it feels like it's not the right time, or it's turbulent, or it's dangerous, or, there's lots of things, lots of excuses that we can give ourselves when it comes to wanting to achieve something. And I feel right now you're being super honest with yourself, and you're going out there, you're doing it, you're making it happen, no matter what that is, whether you're scared, whether you're worried, whether you're not sure how it's going to go. I feel you're freeing yourself up from the fear of worst case scenario, because there's a best case scenario here, and it's going to happen for you, okay? I mean, the Judgment card indicates you're called to do something at this moment in time. And the Emperor indicates no matter what it is that you do, you're going to be successful. Structure is going to work really well for you right now, being organized. So don't rush into anything. Take your time. Acknowledge what it is you want to align with. And the Magician card indicates that sparkle of magic within you, that seed, that idea, that vision. You're capable of making it happen. This is a potent message of your creative power, that you are co-aligning with something that you want to become your reality. And I feel a lot of you in this ever-changing environment and this ever-changing world right now, where it feels like you're trying to make sense of a world that's gone a little bit crazy. I mean, it's always been a little bit crazy, right? But it's just ramped up the dial on craziness over the last couple of years, where we're like, this doesn't make sense anymore. Make it make sense. So a lot of you may be feeling like it's hard to keep that sparkle alive, or that sense of wonder, or that sense of magic, because it's hard right now. It's tough. You're exhausted. You're doing what you got to do. You're utilizing all your resources, and you may feel that sometimes those resources are not enough. But actually, you've got everything you need within you, and the universe is actually helping you manifest more. So if some of you are worried about finances, for example, with that Six of Pentacles, it is a presiding energy, which means you will have enough and then some. It also indicates some extra finances in your future or a surprise amount of money coming on in that will help you feel secure. But again, that's money. It's not something that's directly connected to you. I feel a lot of you, you're trying to rediscover that spark, that passion, to rewild in some way, because you may feel life got pretty serious. As you mature, there are more responsibilities, more things to think about, bills, the path that you're on, the ever-changing world, what it means for you and your family and your security. And it just feels like it's heavy and a lot. And I say heavy because, of course, you have the Tower as your advice to yourself in this moment. It's almost like you're, preparing for something, or you're bracing yourself for something, or you feel a lot of tension. So it can be that you're under a lot of pressure right now and something has to change or give, and you are checking in with yourself to see what are the changes you want to see in your world, and you're setting them in motion. And your future self is going to thank you so much for activating this new thing, whatever it is. It could be a new adventure, a new pathway, new way of adapting, or a new response. For some of you, because there are two people here, there's a couple of people here, but there's two major players here. This could be you and a person right now who are having a lot of conflict. I feel having a breath, a pause between dialogue in order to get your head straight, in order to work out feelings and the direction you want to head in, can bring you closer together. There is someone here, I feel, that if you are kind of like having a conflict with them, or, there has been a distance, or they are estranged from you right now, I feel that there is a really honest, blunt conversation to come in the future that sees this person reach out to make amends, and you'll judge the situation yourself, and there is the potential there to repair it should you want to. It's going to be different for everyone. A lot of people out there are going to be like, nope, don't want to repair that. I'm just going on to the next thing, and I'm not going to look back. I'm going to live my best life and not be disrupted by this person's drama or their disrespect. But some of you are going to give it another chance, and I see there that there is a togetherness, a balance, a harmony, an understanding. So again, it's coming back to this parent thing. So if some of you are a parent and you have a challenging teenager, for example, or you have someone who is going through some growing pains and they're trying to find their way, their personality is kind of like stretching the boundaries, you may be torn between being like a parent and a friend to your child, and finding the balance between the two so that you can still retain some sense of authority and respect, but at the same time acknowledge that you were a child once as well, and that you see their intentions, their motivations, but also you want them to live their best life and make the best decisions for them, and also let them have independence. And I feel like you will find the balance between the two, so don't worry about that. Now again, it's just pulled me in that direction, so not everyone is a parent, but I feel more than anything, this could also be exerting your independence within group activity or within families. What you say matters. You may have felt that there's someone in your dynamic, could be a family member or even a friend, who no matter what you do, it's just never enough. Your responsibility is not here to please other people. It is to please yourself and shine your light and give other people permission to please themselves and shine their light. Okay, you don't always have to show up for others to make sure that their life is awesome at the expense of yours. So just really check in with that, because that's coming through there as well. But that Magician energy, I feel like you're about to manifest some sort of new beginning or exciting adventure ahead of you, and I feel like you got this. The Magician energy indicates that you're a very gifted, talented person. You're very emotionally intelligent as well. And I feel that you're trying to rewild and return to the core of you, the very foundation of you, in order to, I don't want to say start afresh, but it's almost like you're revamping you by being your authentic you, but you're letting go of some aspects of yourself that you feel like you're outgrowing. And that can also be friendships, environments as well there. But the Knight of Pentacles is in your past position. This is a card of stillness or slow activity. If you think about knights, You know, the Knight of Pentacles, especially in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, that's the only knight that is stationary, that is still, okay? All other knights, the horses, are doing something. They're in action mode. And the Knight of Pentacles is a very methodical energy, but it can indicate something has come to a still point where you're called to look to where you invest your time to learn more about yourself. I feel a lot of your cards are bringing you back towards enlightenment, mindfulness, and awareness of self in order to embrace the present moment. And this present moment can be to enjoy fully the people that you're engaging with. So a lot of you, no matter who you are, you may have noticed a pull right now to get out into nature, to do more organic things, or even put your cell phone down sometimes and actually just engage with the person that you're connecting to fully without being distracted, or you want to do more kind of like hands-on activities without the need of a cell phone. You know, the sort of events that, like, if you go to a gig, everyone's got their cell phone and it's almost like they're recording, they're at the gig, but they're too busy looking at the cell phone and seeing the gig through the cell phone, where they may as well have pretty much stayed at home. But I feel like you're in a mode right now where you're like, forget that. I want to experience. I want to come back to my center and be at a gig where I just feel all consumed by the music. So it touches my soul rather than it being secondary through a device, if that makes sense. So a lot of you right now, I just feel this lean into authenticity, into the core of you, and rewilding for sure. Because life, it feels like it got pretty serious. You're working really hard to make things work. You're very practical right now. This is a card of tradition, okay? And the Fool card indicates a little bit more of a flow where it's like, let's see where it goes. I'm not going to hold on too tightly. Of course, there is some sort of structure that you'll adhere to in your life, a schedule or a routine, but you're like, can I be a little bit more spontaneous, more kind of open to how things will just pan out? And I feel this is you perhaps promising yourself that in 2026, you're thinking about taking more risks, definitely calculated risks, but definitely kind of like leaning into a little bit more spontaneity is what I'm seeing there, because that's who you used to be until life got pretty heavy, hard, responsible, serious, and that could have transpired over the last couple of years, and you're just navigating these changes. The Knight of Swords tells me you're adapting to something. So if you've had a monumental shift or your foundation has literally been shaken by a person, an experience, or a circumstance, I feel like you've risen to the occasion to transform because of it, and you're certainly responding differently to this environment. So if you have a person who likes to push your buttons, I feel like you're definitely responding differently. I feel like you're bringing the magic, you're rising above the situation, you're living your best life despite the circumstances, and they're going to see you elevate and thrive and almost like leave them in the dust. You didn't want it to be that way, but I feel like you're not allowing them or the situation to control you. Okay, you're breaking free in some way. Whenever I see a tower, I see a person who's breaking free from a limitation. Now, there could be something that you feel like you've tolerated for a long time with a person or an environment. I mean, for some of you, this could also be that you're trying to detox, or you're trying to manage your life in a different way, and there's always going to be temptations, and you're breaking free from that right now. Temptation to fall back into a cycle of repeat, or, you know, a lot of you are trying to break old habits right now. And with that Six of Pentacles, you're aware that you have choices, you have options, and the one that you choose will inform you body, mind, and soul. So a lot of you are trying to choose a healthier option for you right now. Now, I kind of like this card in the presiding position because it tells me the universe is going to step in to offer you an opportunity, a kindness, or, you know, some sort of generosity that will enrich your earthly bound position. You're someone who does a lot for a lot of people. You have a caring heart. You're very nurturing. You're trying not to allow the challenge of life to harden your heart. And the universe is going to bestow some generosity on you. I feel there's an energy of some sort of surprise that's going to be very pleasant headed your direction, and you will celebrate this. It's literally going to put a spring in your step, whatever this is. But coming back to your center, I feel this is more about you being in balance, you know, Life is all about change, and you are adaptable. And the Six of Pentacles tells me that you will adapt to any changes that occur, but also that you are in a period right now where you're making sure that things are fair, that you value yourself, and that there is reciprocal energy, and that's across the board. Are you giving out more than you're receiving in situations? Well, as you move forward and mature, I definitely see here that you are making sure that things are more balanced. You're just keeping an eye on it there. And I would say with that Six of Pentacles that you're going to be leaning more into friendship as well in 2026. So if you're searching for your soul tribe, I definitely see here new people coming into your life and a lot more fun, a lot more activities outside the home space. Even love, if you're looking for love there as well. But also, I feel there's a lot more opportunity for you as well when it comes to your finances. And I feel there's like a karma boomerang coming right back to you where you're going to see gradual improvement and movement in certain areas. And with the Judgment energy, I feel like you're called to get clarity on what you want because the Magician energy is a vibration of making it happen. Thoughts really do become things. So this is a major arcana card, and I don't know if you noticed, but you've got a lot of major arcana cards right now. You've got an Empress energy, Emperor, Magician, Judgment card, Fool card, Tower. I mean, I've not seen that many major arcana cards in a Celtic cross in a long time. So what you're going through is major. It's big, okay? Big gear shift. You know, lots of restructure going on in your life right now. You may feel like it's all change, and a lot of you are exhausted in this. But on the other side of this is excitement, reward, success, fulfillment, enjoyment, and playfulness. So I feel you've had to really go through it in order to activate this wonderful outcome. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there because, of course, a lot of you, it's been a challenge. I didn't choose the cards for you, my beautiful Taurians, but we do have a Tower and a Ten of Swords there, and this can indicate something either abruptly ended in your life and you've had to adapt, or that you are trying to sever ties with things that just do not line up with who you are right now and where you want to take things to next in your life. This Judgment energy indicates you're in that period of weighing up your options. On the Six of Pentacles, there's always some scales. And the Judgment card is just that. It means you're judging a situation, analyzing your life to date, your journey, and you're shedding some things that don't align. You're in a period of examination. There is also, you know, for some of you, a bit of a rude awakening. It could be that like someone's behavior shocks you or something shocks you. Maybe you've been managing a lot of stress and things got to a certain level where you're like, enough, I can't do this anymore. I need change. But whatever it is, I feel like you are going to be in control of it. And if it's been difficult, I feel it will get easier for you there with that card in this position. Now, of course, the Judgment card is all about your sense of purpose. So some of you, even though you've been going through a lot, you have goals and dreams and you are trying to achieve so much right now, I feel a lot of you are coming back to your sense of purpose. What's the meaning of it? You're doing a lot of soul searching. You're asking yourself why. You're examining your motives and your motivations and your values. You're looking at your life philosophy. You're looking at what you believe in. Firstly, there is a call to believe in yourself, but then things outside of yourself, you're called to look at whether they align with your belief system. So a lot of you are reaffirming your faith right now. I mean, my readings are not about religion and you don't actually have any religious cards here, but my guides are highlighting this desire to reaffirm what you believe in right now. And it starts with the self, backing yourself, showing up every single day, and basically assessing where you feel like you are at. And the Tower indicates that you want monumental change right now because you feel somehow that you've reached a certain level, that you can't go any further. And in order to, level up or upgrade your life in some way, it requires a gear shift, a complete overhaul. So I feel a lot of you are in that mode right now where you are examining what needs to be done, the necessary steps before you close out the year. And this is something personal. This is something within you that has changed. The foundation has been set because this is a card that is not happening to you. is happening for you because of the position it's in. This is your advice to yourself in this moment, and you are the Tower of Power, making the changes that you want to see in your life. Now, if the Tower was in this position or this position, I'd say, watch out. There's going to be a Tower and you're going to have to adapt. Something could come along and shock you, but be ready. But actually, it's in the position where you're in control of some sort of monumental change, and it's almost like a breakdown of something that you once knew actually liberates you. So it could be, for example, if you want to reach a new pay grade in your finances, in your working environment. It can be you have to do something radically different, maybe some new knowledge here to inform yourself, to expand your reach, to nurture your talents, because you're a very gifted person, very talented. And it indicates that something sudden, with that Six of Pentacles and the Tower, something sudden arises for you, but you're ready for the opportunity. The time is now. You're not like sitting there going, oh, I'm not ready. The universe is saying you are ready. And I feel deep down, you know you are ready for this change, whatever it is. So if you're searching for love, for example, it can be that you frequent the same places, see the same faces, or you have a routine that keeps you locked into a way of living, and it's really hard to meet new people. Suddenly, there's going to be some sort of invitation or gathering where you are invited to have fun. Because the Fool card is the outcome energy. It means you have fun, you let your hair down, and you just go out there to enjoy yourself. And suddenly, you find love. With the Tower, there can also be some sort of shock in a relationship, but it does bring you both closer together and you can have more fun with the relationship. But there may be, for some of you, if you've been going through make or break conversations with your partner, it can be that you find a point of harmony, but you both need to be super honest and blunt and tell it how it is. If you're wanting to reconcile with a person, the reconciliation card is right there, because the Judgment card can be a card of giving things another chance or trying again to resolve the situation. So I feel it's important that all is not lost. Now, I do apologize for my voice. I don't actually have a cold, but recently my throat has been just a little bit off because it has been super cold. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that there. But moving on to the rest of your reading, the Emperor is in the circumstances outside of yourself. Now, of course, this can represent a person shocking you or surprising you of what they're capable of, or how they try and, you know, break through a boundary of yours, disrespect. I feel a lot of you are course correcting right now or erecting healthier boundaries to make sure that does not occur. And this could be a family member, could be a friend, doesn't have to be a partner, could also be a boss, could be a neighbor. So please apply it to someone in your life that you feel has tried to overstep a mark in some way and kind of abuse their authority in their position to control you in some way. Someone who has a bit of an ego or did a power play. For some of you, this could be a landlord or a landlady. It could be someone that is in a position of authority in the world. You may be keeping your eyes peeled on the nature of growth in the economy or in the country that you work in, and someone who is, managing that. It doesn't even have to be that you work in. It can be that you live in, that you reside in, a place that, you take pride in being at, but you may feel that there is a monumental restructure right now, and you do not trust the process that is occurring right now. And this period of stillness has asked you to pay attention, to really witness what is going on, how things are being built up. You may be ready for some sort of surprise or some sort of monumental shift there, and you've been judging the people who are involved in this, and the Emperor energy indicates you're seeking safety and structure within all of this. So you could be in a period of like taking stock, or even stock taking. For some of you, you may even have been in a period of making sure that you, and I'm not saying this as a conspiracy theory, I want you to be aware of that, but stockpiling as well. You could be like, okay, just in case there are power outages due to some really odd weather occurrences that we're having right now in the world, you may be like, I just need to make sure that I'm prepared with candles or with water or with food substances, just in case the power goes out for a couple of hours or, a day or two. You may be in a period right now where you are in preparation mode. okay? Because there is a fight or flight energy at the very core of your reading, and this could have come from the last couple of years, what's going on in the world right now. So you may be witnessing a lot of things, understanding the undercurrent, but also preparing for some natural causes as well, because of course you have the Empress in the crossing position. So if you're in an environment where, you know, there's typically storms or floods or tornadoes or, you know, all of those things, it's only if it's typical. You may be just noticing like an increased kind of activity there, and you're like, I'm prepared. I don't see there's anything negative here. I want you to be aware of that, because the Ten of Swords is a hope and a fear position. That just means that you're worried that something could occur that is negative, but the Fool card is super positive. I want you to be aware of that. And of course, the Judgment energy with that Six of Pentacles, it tells me that the universe presides, protects, and keeps balance over your personal circumstances in this moment. So I want you to be aware of that. But with the Emperor energy, I feel like you're trying to structure your life to make sure that you are prepared for every eventuality. A lot of responsibility on your shoulders, okay? And I'm not talking just about world events or your personal circumstances. You feel a duty to your commitments and to the people that you care about, and you show up time after time after time to make sure that you're on the right path and that you are a success in whatever it is that you're doing. Do not forget yourself in all of this, okay? At the core of you, I feel a part of you is, you know, reaching out for attention at this time, for you to nurture yourself, be kinder to yourself, and acknowledge that you're doing a great job with the resources that you got. And it's not easy out there, but you're showing up and you're making a difference. You're making an impact, and I feel there's a lot of positivity. You're reaching for more, and you should have more. 2026 is a great breakthrough year for you as well. Now, the Emperor energy is also, of course, as I said, responsibility and duty. There's always going to be that, but make sure, you know, that you do not get lost in all of that. Remember that if you feel that things are heavy right now, and sometimes it can feel overwhelming, and that's when you feel like you're buried under like more work, more responsibility, more bills, more everything. This is where you're planted, and this is where you will grow, and this is where you will thrive and be abundant. Okay, because then you find alternative opportunities to adapt to your situation and break through for new pathways. Sometimes the universe will throw us a tower in order to change. And I feel like you're so ready for change, but you're going to be in control of this change. Now, hope and a fear, Ten of Swords. You have a lot on your mind right now. In fact, I feel a lot of you with so much on your mind, overthinking and what's going on in your personal circumstances or, you know, in the world at large. I feel like there is a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and you're managing it. You're trying really hard to hold it all together. You're doing it all right now. But also, this card can indicate some of you feel alone in some of these circumstances that you're going through. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. But I also do see that there are people who really care about you. People who would surprise you, actually, that really care about you. Some people that you may feel, they're all up in their own business. You know, they are a little bit self-absorbed right now. That may be the case because everyone's going through something at some point that you need to submerge yourself in. But I do feel there's a lot of care, a lot of understanding, and they would be there for you in a shot if you were a little bit more open with your circumstances, because a lot of you are very private. Now, don't shoot the messenger when I say this, because this is coming through and I have to acknowledge it. Some of you, because you're a super strong person, you know, you're holding it all together, as I said, but there is this energy of like you having a perception that by sharing some of the struggles that you've been going through, that you would burden other people with that, or you don't want to be like giving a downer to somebody. I mean, I feel the person that you want to tell what's going on with you, I feel like they want to be there for you. It's not a burden at all. I feel it's so important to share. This is a card of sharing. That's why it's coming out there. My guides are pointing at this as share your struggles. Share what you're going through. Talk it over, because you're actually going to find that some people who are in your immediate circumstances and people that you have yet to meet that are coming in, that you will integrate with, they've been going through something similar. Not the same, but there is an understanding and a support. Most importantly, we do not share what we're going through to another person so that they can fix things for us. I mean, it would be nice, but, we don't do that. We actually share so that there can be an affinity, and we want someone to listen, to understand, to really see us. And I feel right now there's an energy here of you really being seen in all your glory and in all your struggles, because you're going through a lot and you're making a difference, you're making an impact. But with the Ten of Swords, it indicates that something is ending to bring you a new beginning, or something is falling away or shedding in order to set you up for your rise. And I feel this is going to help you thrive, but it can be something that was really hard to let go of, or hard to understand why it had to be this way. Because in your future self is going to thank you for letting go of something that either you've tolerated for too long, or held on to for too long, or got stuck in for too long. Because this is a shift. This is the gear shift. And it doesn't have to be something that is like a painful ending or a sudden release. It can be a very graceful realization or understanding that you're letting go of an old way of thinking. You're embracing, a less pressurized state of mind. You're responding differently to any challenging situations. And you're freeing yourself up from patterns that no longer serve you, because you've learned a lot. I feel like you're freeing yourself right now from something. And the Ten of Swords is a fear. It can be that you're worried about these changes, or you're worried about this new start, or you're worried about this new monumental era that you've gone through, or it's been on your mind a lot. But it paves the way for a new beginning and a new you to embrace. And I feel this is only the beginning of something quite exciting for you, but it may have come at the cost of severing ties with something, or breaking something down, or recovering from something in order to set yourself free. Because I feel there's a liberation, a freedom, or an escape of something, as it were. And your outcome energy is the Fool card. So that's playfulness, potential, new adventures, excitement, optimism, a brighter future to look forward to. This can also be like new skills or a new you emerging right now. This is a card of freedom as well. And of course, being a little bit more carefree. I feel a lot of you have responsibility and pressure on your shoulders, and life is always going to throw curveballs. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We all know that life is changeable. People are changeable. But I feel right now there is an energy where you're about to have a breakthrough, so you can be more carefree, so you can give back to yourself, have less pressure, be more on top of your goals, responsibilities, and manage them really effectively, because of course you're not going to stop managing life, of course. But I feel whatever this new era is for you, you got this. And you're going to have fun with it. And you're going to enjoy it. And there's so much potential there. Yes, you're achieving a lot right now. And it may not feel like it. But actually, you've been showing up for yourself, powering on through. And despite how exhausted you feel, there is something really positive on the other side. And your expectations will be met. You have high expectations of yourself, and you will achieve those as well. But you're doing everything you can in every moment that you've got. And I feel if you recognize the Fool card as someone who lives in the moment, because they have no expectations. I mean, as humans, we all have expectations, but we don't attach our feelings to try and control the expectations. So the Fool card, this is a person who is taking a fresh new approach to life, or taking a chance on a new way of doing something, and is like, I'm just going to see where it goes. I'm going to free myself up from worry. I'm going to believe that it's going to work out. I'm going to back myself. And I feel a lot of you are about to embark on a new adventure there. Also, a lot of you are healing your inner child. You're being the person that you needed when you were younger. And you should be really proud of yourself and proud of that, okay? So I'm just going to go and get some final cards before I close your reading. Wow, that reading was very complex, and it did not feel like a long reading, but I can see that it has been a long reading, but it didn't feel that way to me. So it just feels like everything is hitting you all at once. And it just feels like the year has probably gone like that for you. You've been doing so much, but somehow when you look back and you judge the situation, you feel like you haven't really changed anything, or that somehow you're kind of still in the same place. But I feel what is to come helps you advance, reach for more, and feel more fulfilled there as well. So it says, realize you have all the qualities to be a leader. Yes, you have the Emperor energy there, so you're taking the initiative to make the changes that you want to see in your world, and you're going to be so proud of yourself there. And we've got here as well, if all you're doing is waiting for the really big moments, that's probably why you got all the big cards here. It says, if all you're doing is waiting for the really big moments, you won't value and appreciate the small ones. And what are the small ones? When you come back to stillness, when you come back to yourself, to your center, to the moments. You know, when we really think about life, and this is getting a little bit philosophical here, but when we really think about life, you know, we don't actually remember the times that we purchase a car or we, you know, purchase a home. We think about the moments we had with a person, the really open, raw conversation, the memories of laughter, joy, you know, vacations together, conversations that, you know, led to deeper intimacy, arguments that had breakthroughs in friendships and relationships. And, you know, we remember moments. So sometimes this is an acknowledgement that, yeah, it's nice to have the big drama in our lives or the big monumental shifts and changes, but acknowledge that the smaller moments are often more important, the ones that we come back to time and time again to remember, you know, the fleeting moments of life. So I feel like you're trying to value and appreciate both the big moments and the little ones. And finally, we got, you're pushing yourself to exhaustion. Enjoy yourself in between all of your hard work. And I feel that's the big message of this reading, because of course there's always going to be responsibility, always going to be hard work. I do see it getting easier for you, and I do feel that you'll be a little bit more carefree because some sort of shift is happening here for you. But remember to have fun, because life is all about experience. And there's going to be moments where it feels hard. There's going to be moments where we feel great as well. And, you know, we got to take the rough with the smooth. But I see a smoother path ahead for you there, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. That reading was pretty deep, okay? And finally, we got the bat. You're looking at where your energy is drained. Who is draining your energy? You know, who are energy vampires in your life, removing yourself from those experiences and those people, those environments. Also, for some of you, because when I think about a sort of bat there, vampiric energy, I think about blood. So some of you may be looking at your health at this time, doing blood work and things like that. I mean, you're in really great hands if you are going through something medical right now, because the Emperor energy is there. Someone who's very knowledgeable, you know. Sometimes they may be a little bit more practical than they are, you know, sensitive, shall I put it that way? But they know their stuff and they're going to help you get back to best there. So that's coming through as well. And if you think about the bat has, you know, extraordinary kind of gifts that are often utilized, you know, obviously not just in the dark, because they do fly out during the day as well. But, you know, there's an energy of darkness or evening time, nighttime about a bat. So it can indicate that you need to watch your thoughts during nighttime, especially before bed. For some of you, it can also indicate that you've had some darker thoughts, but there are more positive thoughts here to come. But also I feel like honing your extraordinary gifts, like mindfulness, because you have the Ten of Swords there, psychic abilities. Bats have that sonar where they kind of like assess their environment based on like sound bouncing around, you know, when they emit the sound there. So a lot of you are assessing your environment right now to see if it fits with the vision that you have of what you desire in your life. And if it doesn't, you're making some changes. I feel enough is enough. The change is within you, and you're going to be so excited by the outcome. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Taurians. Thank you so much, and love and light.